G'day, it's Mark here from Tempest Tools. Today's video is about press brake settings in ToolBox. So to get to your settings in your account, you would click your hamburger or your menu item and then go down to processes, and you'll see them directly below. I've got a lot more cutting technologies in mine, but you'll see them directly below yours, which is the second one down. So secondary processes and then folding. I'm going to click on the edit tool, and I'll now explain to you what each of these fields do and how you can use them for your own circumstances. So this top one is your base hourly rate. So that's the normal operator and the brake itself, so both machine and labour, whereas this one here is just labour rate. Generally they're half, that's press and operator, that's just operator, but what you might want to do is just put your general sell-out rate for one of the guys in the factory. There's two modes, one is line and one is material. At set at line, that will add the setup for tooling and mounting the tools into the brake on every single part, regardless of whether it finds another common material and thickness. The other mode, which is what most people use, is it'll spread that cost across parts that are on common material and thickness. We've got a really complex algorithm in the background, guys, so I'm not going to go into the little nuances of every single thing. What I'm going to do is give you the theory of the basic settings that the algorithm looks for. So it's looking for volume, it's looking for size, all those sorts of things. It's a lot more complicated than that, but basically there's a small part setting and there's a large part setting without going into every single detail. So at 100%, this is what each of them do. So at 100% for the setup override, that involves someone walking over to the tooling cabinet and picking out all of the required tools and then putting them on the trolley and rolling them back to the brake. That takes 15 minutes in ToolBox. The other thing that it accounts for is the mounting of the tools into the brake. So what we do is we charge 3 minutes for every 500mm length of tooling. All right. This one here is for the press cycle. So my explanation of the press cycle, I suppose, is the press coming down, folding, and then coming up. All right. So that's the cycle. So there's 5 seconds we allow for. And then for the load and unload of the part, it's 15 seconds. That's at the small setting, and then the large setting has still the same 5-second press cycle, but it's got 40 seconds allowance for the load and unload. All right, and back up to here, if ToolBox finds that the part is too heavy based on those settings in the algorithm, it will start adding extra labor to it. All right, now to demonstrate this in a quote, what I'm going to do is switch over my mode to line item. It just makes it easier for me to explain in the quote itself. So I'm going to jump up to my home button, ToolBox, which takes you back to your main quote page. I'm going to hit create quote. And I've just designed up some simple folded parts here that I will unfold for you. I'm going to use the 3D tool. So those of you that haven't seen this before, it's a really nice, quick, efficient way of adding your parts to ToolBox without too much fuss. It's just a click of a button once it registers the or reads the actual assembly or the part. So what ToolBox is looking for is sheet metal rules, and once it finds them, in this case both of those parts are on 1/2 mil, all I need to do is match up to the material I want to fold and cut it on and then send it back to the quote. Simple as that. It's very quick and efficient. I'm not going to worry about setting customers and delivery dates for this exercise. This one is just purely to show you how ToolBox uses those settings to formulate a price. So you can see here, there's my fold. I didn't have to do anything. There's the other fold in there. It's got the quantity, it's got the material, it's got the sheet size. It's great. So down in here, you can see all of my associated pricing. So we've got material, cutting, and folding. Now, to get into the weeds or more detail of what and how this price has been created, you can click the details icon here. So I'm going to skim down to the folding section here, and what happens is ToolBox will convert your hourly rate into a second rate. So it's dividing the total hourly rate by 3,600 seconds, which is how many seconds in an hour. So that's 3 cents. And then as you can see here for the tooling, there's my 18 minutes. So 15 minutes for the person to organize the tooling, roll it back, and then 1 3-minute block for that 500 mil length to load it into the brake. Down in here, you've got your folding time. That includes that 5-second cycle and the 15 seconds of unload and load time. So that is a small area one. And then the large area one down in here, if I click on here, you've got your 15 minutes of setup for the organizing the tooling, and then 6 by 3 minutes of clamping because it's a 3 meter wide fold. So all up 33 minutes for that one. And as you can see, it's detected the part is a little bit too heavy for one person, and it's added extra labor in there. And there's your 45 seconds. So again, the cycle of 5 seconds, but 40 seconds allowance for the load and unload. And that's it. If you have any questions whatsoever, guys, just reach out to Jackson, myself, or Sebastian, and we're more than happy to jump online and help you with this. We don't want it to be confusing. We think it's pretty straightforward, and hopefully this video explains it a little bit better. But if you want to get into more detailed analysis of it, then just reach out to the three of us and we'll happily arrange a meeting for you. In my next video, I'm going to go through the secondary processes and how to set them up and use them. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you.